So to solve the inequality, we'll want to add 8 to both sides, just like an equation. And then to finish getting x by itself, we want to divide negative, oops, I left an answer there. I meant to block them all out. But to get x by itself there, that's negative 5x is greater than 15. You want to do the opposite of multiplying by negative 5. So divide negative 5 from both sides. And when you multiply or divide both sides by a negative in an inequality, you've got to flip the inequality symbol. So it should look like this now. And the reason for that is because the way negatives and positives work. On the number line, if a number switches from positive to negative, then the bigger the digit, the smaller the number when you're in the negatives, right? Negative 4 is smaller than negative 2. 4 is bigger than 2, but negative 4 is smaller than negative 2. So that's kind of an intuition for why we have to switch that inequality symbol. Because when we go from negative to positive land or vice versa, the relationship between the digits and the size is reversed. Okay, so that's our solution. That's what we want to type in there. I accidentally left the answer there. There is a solution. There's an infinite amount of solutions. Any number less than negative 3. And so to graph that solution, we use an open circle because there is no line underneath the inequality symbol. If there was a line here, we'd use a closed circle. And the circle needs to start at negative 3. And this is saying x is less than negative 3 because the alligator is eating negative 3. The alligator eats the bigger meal, so x must be less than negative 3. And so that means our solution should be all the numbers less than negative 3. To be small and to be less than on the number line, you need to be to the left. So it looks like this is the correct answer. They drew it directly on the number line. I draw it above just because it gets messy if I put a bunch of symbols on the number line. That's wrong, that's wrong. Yeah, so that's the only one. This one has a closed dot, but I explained that, right? Okay, solution written in interval notation. So there's two types of inequality notations we typically use. This is called inequality notation, where we have an inequality symbol, a less than or greater than symbol. Interval notation doesn't have a symbol in the middle. Interval notation starts with the smallest number in our solution. So the smallest number is always to the left, but this line keeps going. We never reach the smallest number. Think of the smallest number, you can think of negative a billion, and then it's still smaller than that. So we're going to use a parentheses and write negative infinity. We always write parentheses next to infinity because we never reach it. And then we're going to put another parentheses next to negative 3. The solution is the smallest number you can think of, even smaller than that. Then we put a comma. It's all the way up to negative 3, and then we stop. Okay, so looking at the graph of your solution can help you with writing interval notation. If that was a solid dot, you put a bracket right here. That's the only difference.